Hello students. Last class we solved one wonderful equation, that is magnetic field inside the solenoid. So watch that complete video to understand the whole concept of solenoid. Let me solve a numerical based on that topic. Okay. So in this numerical it is given that we have to find the magnetic field at point P, and our angle theta 2 is given as 60 degree, and this angle is given. So we have to find the angle theta 1. So what is theta 1? From here to this angle, okay, up to here, this angle is taken as theta 1. So what will be the value of theta 1? This complete angle is considered as 180 degree. So from that 180 degree, if we neglect 30 degree, then we get theta 1. Okay, so theta 1 equal to 180 degree minus 30 degree. Okay, this 30 degree is not our theta 1 because our theta 1 is calculated from here to there. So 180 degree minus 30 degree, so theta 1 will become 150 degree. So what is the formula to find the magnetic field? B equal to mu naught Ni divided by 2 cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. So B equal to mu naught Ni divided by 2 so cos theta 1 is cos 180 degree minus cos 150 degree. So you substitute the value of cos 180, cos 150 and write the answer. Okay, here n value, I value, it is not given, so we can take it as it is. So this is our final answer. Okay, so the important term, very important, that is what is mean by n. So here n means number of turns per coil. N means number of turns per length. So we can write this n as capital N by L. Okay, so what is number of turns? In that non-conducting material, we wound a coil of wire, so that wire number is known as number of turns. Okay, and length means up to which length we wound that coil. Okay, for example, we have 100 centimeter of solenoid. If we take, this is our 100 centimeter of solenoid. So in this 100 centimeter of solenoid, I can wound 1000 turns, I can wound 10,000 turns. So among these two, which one is best? It is definitely 10,000 turns, because in each and every turn our current will flow. If I have one turn, my current will flow through that one turn. Because of the flowing of current through the open wire, I get the magnetic field. Okay, if I get 100, if I have 100 turns, then my current is flowing through all the 100 turns, then our strength of the magnetic field should be increased, right? Because I have 100 turns. Now current is flowing through all the 100 turns. If I have 10,000 turns, then my current is flowing through all the 10,000 turns. So I get a huge magnetic field. So if my number of turns will increase, then our magnetic field will also increase. So this solenoid length is taken as 100 centimeter. In this 100 centimeter solenoid, I wound 1000 turns as well as 10,000 turns. So which is my best? Obviously 10,000 turns solenoid will provide more magnetic field. So that is our best solenoid. Okay. So here 100 centimeter is known as L. L is 100 centimeter. Okay. I can wound 1000 tons, 10,000 tons. So this 10,000 is known as our capital N. Okay, so what is our N? N means N by L, that is 1000 by 100. Okay, now can you understand? So the small n means number of turns per length. Okay, for a given length, how many turns I wound? So for a given 100 centimeter length, I wound 1000 turns. Okay, so we have to convert this into meter 10 to the power minus 2. Okay, right. So we will move on to next topic. The next topic is ideal solenoid. Ideal solenoid means a solenoid which has infinite length. Okay, a solenoid which has infinite length. So in previous class, we studied about a solenoid which have finite length, okay, very minimum length. Here ideal solenoid means we have infinite length of solenoid. So we can take our length of the solenoid very much greater than radius of the solenoid, right? So this is our radius, okay. So this is our radius, then our length will be infinite. So I can say my length of the solenoid will be very much greater than radius of the solenoid. So in this type of solenoid, we have to calculate the magnetic field. Okay. So consider a point P. So this is our small length element, and we join that small length element. This angle is taken as theta. Okay. Then what is our theta 1? See, here our length of the solenoid is infinite. It will goes like this. Infinite length. So we have to join the left end of the solenoid with point P. We have to join left end of the solenoid, okay, with point P. So it is in the length of infinite. As I already said, if I draw one more infinite line, okay, if I draw one more infinite line, then these two infinite will meet at certain point, right? Appears to meet at certain point as per the geometrical rule. So two parallel lines meet at infinity. So this is my one parallel line. I have to meet this point with the parallel line. So because of the infinity length, I can draw another infinity parallel line. Then these two parallel line will meet at infinity, right? So I can draw like this. Okay, this will go like this. So here what is our theta 1? Theta 1 is calculated from here. So if I cover the theta 1, then my theta 1 will become 180 degree, right? Why? Because I have to draw a parallel line, then only these two parallel line will meet at infinity, because my length of the solenoid is taken as infinity. Okay, infinite length. So I have to draw a parallel line, then only I can connect the point P with left end of the solenoid. So if I draw a parallel line, then my angle is covered almost semicircle, okay, semi-angle. So I can take theta 1 as 180 degree. Okay, from here to this line 180 degree. Then what is my theta 2? What is my theta 2? So if you see here, our theta 1 covered all the 180 degree. Then our theta 2, if we draw another line here, then my theta 2 will create very small angle. Okay, my end is infinity. We don't know where it ends. Okay, so if I connect this point P with the right end, then I have angle like this. Okay, so if this is my right end, so if I connect this, then I have angle like this. Okay, so I get very small angle for theta 1. I get very small angle, so I can take my theta 1 as 0 degree. Okay, so in a semicircle, if one angle is 180 degree, then another angle must be equal to 0, because this theta 1 covered whole length of the solenoid. Then our theta 1 must be equal to 0. Okay, So this is our angle of theta 1 and theta 2. So now solve the equation. So what is our formula for magnetic field of solenoid? B equal to mu naught Ni divided by 2 cos 180 minus cos 0. Okay, cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. Right? So what is the value of cos 180? Mu naught Ni divided by 2. Cos 180 will be equal to minus 1. Okay, minus cos 0 will be equal to 1. So minus 1 and minus 1 will become minus 2, and 2 get cancelled, right? 2 get cancelled. So we left with minus mu naught Ni. So this is our magnetic field. Here minus negative symbol means direction. Okay, so if we take theta 1, okay, if we take theta 1 as 180 degree, then my value will be different, right? So here minus is only for direction, because mu naught Ni value won't be minus. So I can write the magnitude. The magnitude of magnetic field will be equal to mu naught Ni. So this is the equation we are going to substitute to find the magnetic field of solenoid. Even though if they don't give the ideal solenoid, or if they don't give the value of infinite length of the solenoid, okay, so whatever they given, we have to use this equation until they mention finite length. If they mention finite length, then only we are going to use this equation. Okay, if they did not mention the finite length, then in all the cases we are going to use this equation to find the magnetic field of solenoid, right? So this magnetic field will be equal inside the solenoid at any point. If we take any point, okay, I take P here. If we take the point P here, here or any point, then the magnetic field will be equal, because it is in infinite length. So you can take P at any point, then our magnetic field, magnitude of magnetic field will get the same answer. As well as our magnetic field lines, very similar to electric field lines. We will study it in next chapter. So our magnetic field lines also parallel inside the solenoid, inside the infinite length of solenoid. Our magnetic field lines will be parallel. Okay, so I get the parallel field lines inside the ideal solenoid, right? So in this topic, we are going to calculate the magnetic field at point P, which is located at exact end of the solenoid. So we have infinite length of solenoid, and we locate our point P at the exact end of the solenoid, where we have to calculate the magnetic field. Okay, so this is our point P. Then what is my theta? This is my theta, right? So I have to join this point P with the infinite left end. So I can draw parallel line. Then my theta 1 will become 180 degree. So I can write theta 1 equal to 180 degree. Okay, then what is my theta 2? So if this is theta 1, what is theta 2? I have to join the point P with right end of the solenoid. Okay, so initially theta 1 left end of the solenoid, theta 2 right end of the solenoid. So which is my right end? This is my right end. So if I join point P with right end, then what will be my angle? So my angle will be exactly equal to 90 degree, right? So theta 2 will be equal to 90 degree. Okay, so now substitute the value. B equal to mu naught Ni divided by 2 cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. Substitute the value. Mu naught Ni divided by 2 cos 180 minus cos 90. So the value of cos 180 will become minus 1, and cos 90 will be 0. So my equation minus mu naught Ni divided by 2. So I can write the magnitude. Magnitude will be equal to mu naught Ni divided by 2. So this is my equation. If I locate my point P at the exact end of the solenoid, okay, so this is the magnetic field to find the, this is the formula to find the magnetic field where our point P is located at exact end of the solenoid. Okay, so in this topic we are going to find the magnetic field inside and outside the long solenoid using Ampere's circuital law. So by using Ampere's circuital law, we are going to find the magnetic field inside as well as outside the long solenoid, that is infinite length of solenoid. Okay, so for that first I have to draw one Ampere loop which cover the area inside as well as outside the long solenoid. So I can draw a loop. So this is my Ampere's loop. Okay, so I can name this A D, right? So this Ampere loop consists certain area inside as well as outside the solenoid. Okay, so above the solenoid I have dot field. Below the solenoid I have cross field. So what is Ampere's circuital law? Closed integral of B dot dl equal to mu naught Ni. Okay, I inside. Or simply I can write mu naught I. So n means for number of turns. If I consider one turn, then I can write mu naught I. Okay, so this is my Ampere's circuital law. From this equation, we are going to find the magnetic field for this Ampere's loop. So what is the direction of magnetic field in this solenoid? By using right hand thumb rule. Okay, my four curled fingers in the direction of current. So this is my direction of current. Initially we set. Then my thumb finger shows the direction of magnetic field. Okay, so initially this is my direction of current. That's why I have dot field upwards the solenoid and cross field below the solenoid. Okay, so my current is coming downwards. Current is coming downwards. Then my direction of magnetic field will be in right side. So this is my direction of magnetic field. Okay, so here I have four parts, that is AB, BC, CD, DA. To complete the loop I have to start with A and end with A. Okay, so I have four magnetic field as well as length element. So this is the direction of magnetic field and I have four length element. So this is my only length element and this is another, and CD, DA. Okay, so I can write BDL as BDL A to B. So A to B I have one length element and magnetic field. Okay, plus another length element B to C. So I can write BDL B to C. Okay, plus C to D plus D to A equal to mu naught I. So by this equation I cover this whole length of the Ampere's loop. Okay, so from A to B I cover this length and B to C this length, C to D here, D to A here. Okay, so by this equation I cover whole length of the Ampere's loop. So we are going to calculate the magnetic field for this all four area. So for A to B, what is my direction of magnetic field? So this is the direction of magnetic field, right? We already said magnetic field is going from left to right. So this is the direction of magnetic field. And what is our direction of loop? Direction of loop also from A to B. So both are in same direction. Then what will be the angle between magnetic field and length element? That is 0, because both are in same direction. So I can write for A to B, B dl cos theta, right? So the angle between B and dl will be equal to 0. So I can rewrite this A to B, B dl cos 0, right? So our cos 0 value will become 1. So A to B, B dl. Okay, cos 0 will become 1. So this is for A to B loop, A to B wire. Okay, so if we consider B to C, so for B to C, my direction of magnetic field won't change. It is always from left to right. Okay, so but our direction of loop create an angle of 90 degree with the magnetic field, right? Create an angle of 90 degree. So this is my direction of magnetic field. This is my direction of loop. So the angle created by the loop is exactly equal to 90 degree. Okay. So for B to C, what is my angle? BDL cos 90. BDL cos 90 for B to C. So if I put cos 90, then I get cos 90 will be equal to 0. Okay. So my cos 90 value will be equal to 0. So I get 0 magnetic field for B to C. Okay. So as well as C to D, C to D is outside the solenoid. So outside the solenoid there will be no magnetic field. The magnetic field is 0 outside the solenoid. Okay. So C to D did not come inside the solenoid. So for this Ampere's loop, my magnetic field value will become equal to 0. Okay. So for here also I get 0 magnetic field. For here also I get 0 magnetic field. Okay. Then for the third one, fourth one, A to D. So again my magnetic field create an angle of 90 degree with the length element. Okay. So here A to D again perpendicular to the magnetic field. So it will create an angle of 90 degree. So for A to D also I get BDL cos 90. Cos 90 value will be equal to 0. So I get 0 magnetic field for ADL also. So I get magnetic field only for A to B section because both B and DL lies in the same direction. So I get 0 angle, cos 0 value will become 1. So I get the magnetic field for AB only. Okay. So I can write AB BDL will be equal to mu naught I. Okay. So what is the integration of DL? Integration of DL will be equal to L. So I can write B into L will be equal to mu naught I. Okay. So if one unit has n turns, one unit has n turns. So what if L unit have n into L number of turns, right? So one unit have n turns. I have L unit, okay, L length of the solenoid. So then L length of the solenoid has n into L turns. Okay. So my total turns will be equal to n into L. So my magnetic field value, one turn will have I current. One turn will have I current. Then n into L turns will have n into L current, right? Okay. One turn have I current, I amount of current. then N into L turns will have N into L into I amount of current. So instead of I can substitute this value N into L into I. Then only I can cover the current including the length of the coil, okay, length of the solenoid as well as number of turns. So my current is also flowing throughout the length of the solenoid as well as coil wound on the solenoid. Okay, so I can write BL equal to mu naught. Instead of I can write N L I. Okay, so my L get cancelled. Then I have B equal to mu naught Ni. So this is my final equation, right? So we will solve certain numericals based on this equation. So in this numerical, it is given that a closely wound solenoid of 80 centimeter long carries current of 8 ampere. It has 5 layers of windings of 4000 turns each. The diameter of the solenoid is 1.8 centimeter. Estimate the magnitude of magnetic field inside the solenoid near its center. So first we have to write the given data. So what are the data given? So length of the solenoid 80 centimeter long. So I can write length equal to 80 centimeter, which will be equal to 80 into 10 power minus 2 meter. Okay. It has 5 layers of windings of 4000 turns each. So winding means N, number of turns. So 5 layers. In one layer I have 4000 turns. Then 5 layer I have 5 into 4000 turns. Right? So it will be equal to 20,000 turns. The diameter of solenoid is 1.8 centimeter. So diameter 1.8 centimeter. So I can write radius 0.9 into 10 power minus 2 meter. Okay. Then current is given. So current is 8 ampere. So what is the formula? B equal to mu naught Ni. Okay. So here N is taken as N by L because we have length as well as turns. So I can write mu naught, instead of N I take N by L. Okay. So N by L. So substitute all the value. What is the value of mu naught? 4 pi into 10 power minus 7. Then what is our N value? 20,000 turns. What is our current value? 8 ampere. Okay. Divided by, what is our L? Sorry, what is our length of the solenoid? 80 into 10 power minus 2 meter. Right? So if you substitute all the value, then you will get the value of magnetic field. So you find yourself and comment the answer. Okay. So next problem, very similar. A solenoid of length 0.5 meter has a radius of 1 centimeter, is made up of 500 turns. It carries current of 5 ampere. Find magnitude of magnetic field inside the solenoid. Okay. So what are the given data? Length given and radius also 1 centimeter and total number of turns 500 and total current 5 ampere. So all the given data you use and find the answer. Okay. Very similar to this problem. Okay. So thank you students.